Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the time you've all been waiting for. Satisfactory. That's it. You heard it. Layman's Logistics is going to be playing Satisfactory. It is our first factory building game. I am so excited to get this onto the channel, but I want to set some expectations for it. So before we get started, here's what's going to happen. I love the old style of Let's Plays. I love it when you guys get to see, with minimal cuts, what happens on the day-to-day. This is not going to be a 12-episode series. I'm not putting a time limit on this series, and I hope that's okay. I absolutely adore being able to build, experiment, have fun with it. If I'm doing something super grindy, I might cut it out. I might make it a time lapse. But my goal is for you guys to go along on this journey with me. So with that, we're going to get into the game, and I hope you enjoy the series. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking on Satisfactory. I'm so excited to bring this to the channel. We got to go over what we're doing here first. So we're going to start off on grass fields. I think these other places are really cool, but I think grass fields is where we're going to start. I haven't played this game since before 1.0 came out. So now we're on 1.1. Everything's changed. It's going to be a wild time. We are going to skip the intro just because it's a little bit of a long haul. If you haven't seen the intro, I highly suggest you go watch it or get the game yourself and play it. Such a fun experience. But for us, we're just going to jump straight into it. It's going to take a second to load. This game is massive and it is intense. So there's sometimes some lagging. There's sometimes some running slow of the game, but look how beautiful this world looks. Absolutely gorgeous. That is a Satisfactory staple right there. Something hovering over the land that's not supposed to do that. Look at this. He wasn't even walking. He was just hovering. That's part of this game, though. If you're unfamiliar with Satisfactory, while we kind of do some basics here, some getting started, getting some resources started, I'm going to go over what this game is and what you do in it. So, essentially, what's going on here is we are playing a factory builder. If you're unfamiliar with factory builders, they're very different than roguelikes. Our goal is to get bigger and better constantly and to constantly make new products. Sometimes that leads to I build a thing, we unlock a new thing, I unbuild the thing I just built. That's just part of these games. There's a lot of going back and forth, but it's fun. I make it sound awful, but it's really fun. This game also, since 1.0 dropped, has kind of a story to it. So we are a part of the Fix-It community. We're part of the Fix-It Corps of Engineers, and our goal is to essentially automate and exploit everything on this planet. We need to exploit the wildlife. We need to exploit the resources. Our goal is to automate everything, and then we will eventually build a structure that will let us send those resources out of the planet and up to the space platform, which will then get sent off to our home planet. There's a crisis in the galaxy, and we need to save it by doing these things. We do this by using tools and resources and a bunch of really cool stuff. So we can build like power poles, power lines, conveyor belts, all sorts of things. We can deconstruct. It's a really cool game. I am going to go ahead and start, though, by figuring out where I want to start off. I do have some advantages here in this game because I know that early on, power sources are very dependent on like having the correct amount of leaves, because you use leaves to burn biofuel, and that helps you kind of build stuff. I think, if I remember correctly, yes, V is what I use to find resources. We're going to want iron. So let's see where iron is. Iron is over here and over there. Okay. I kind of like this little lake area for our main base, but I want to see what else around. So we're going to go run over to the iron and see how far away this thing is. Again, like I said before, I want this to be really like 2010s level Let's Play, I loved the fact that I actually got to experience a game that I maybe couldn't afford, or maybe I didn't have the time to play, and I could just put it on while I was eating or while I was on my lunch break. And it was great to be able to do that. I think this area over here is actually really good because, okay, hear me out. We've got this nice little valley. It's got some flat area that we can work in. We've got a limestone deposit here. We've got 2, 3. Are these all copper or are these iron? The nodes look different than the last time I played, so I've got to check. This is iron, and this is what? Normal? There are different purities to the nodes. They give different amounts of resources as you go. So what we'll need, and I'm going to get kind of away from this dude because that wildlife is going to kill me if I don't run away. Excuse me, buddy. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to renew my car's extended warranty. Well, he can. That's new. That is new. They did not used to be able to run up those. Okay. What the heck? Okay. We can't jump that. This is now a little bit more nerve-wracking. I did not know that they could jump up the rocks. Can he follow me up here? Okay, he stopped falling. We're gonna hide in this corner while I show you guys this stuff. We need raw iron to build the hub, which is kind of like our starting base. We're going to work on building a space elevator. We've got different workshops, production, constructors, all this stuff. So I think what we're going to want to start off with is kind of just building up a basic resource structure. So let me go ahead and get this in my hands, and we're going to go after this dude. Don't worry, he doesn't feel anything. We're making friends with him. See, he's taking a nap now. Just don't think too much about it. Now we're gonna mine this ore. You've got to mine the top of the ore, that way you can get to the deposit below, but it makes it really interesting. So like now we have this ore deposit is ready to go. We're gonna go into here, and we're gonna go ahead and place a miner Mark 1. And I kind of want to have it go like there. I'm going to lock the hologram, see where it goes. Yeah, I like where that's at. So we're going to go ahead and confirm that. I like that we're going to have this one up and running so soon. So now what we're going to need to do is take the raw material out of this miner and put it into a smelter. So I'm going to go over this real quick. If we do iron, this can take 30 iron per minute, and it makes 30 ingots per minute. This produces 60 iron per minute. See the problem? We need 2 of these, and we don't really have a way to do that yet. This is where the logistics comes in, and the other half of my name. Again, I'm not an expert. I do love supply chain logistics. This is like my jam. This is what I do for fun. Let's go ahead and find where we want to put this guy. We don't want him too in the middle because we don't want him too close to our other resources. Let's go ahead and put him right here. This is a good little spot. I love the building in this game. I love how clean it looks and just, oh, it's such a good game. We now have access to our little area here. We can start making biomass. So we're going to start making biomass. Every Satisfactory playthrough starts off with the hold the button and make biomass. It's fun. It's engaging. It's great content, I know. Gonna go ahead and put through some wood here, make some more biomass. Okay. Now, what we will do is we'll run to the back here, and we have some biomass burners. We're gonna split our stacks, and we're gonna throw biomass in these producers. And then we're going to start working on power poles. So we're going to try and get these as in line as possible. It's not going to work necessarily. Oh, that's right. Hold on. They made something that I totally forgot about. This did not used to be a thing back in the day. But you can now use the wire and run with the power pole. And it will just, like, tell you when it can't be done anymore. Wow. Did they extend how far these things can go? I think they extended how far those could go. I did not remember that being that possible. That's cool. So now, our miner has power. We are getting stuff to come out of the miner and to go into whatever we want. Since our smeltery is not effective yet, I'm going to put a little container here. And then that container can then feed into our smelter. It's an extra step, but it's there for a reason. And it's there because any backup will come into here, and it will flow through immediately, but any backup will then not cause the system to overload. I'm going to go ahead and connect this here. I know there's a lot going on. I'm trying to, like, narrate, but at the same time, like, do the thing that we need to do. We now have iron ingots being produced. This game has infinite resources. I don't know of any resource that is not infinite. So, we do not need to shy away from scaling. We can scale these builds as much as we need to make whatever we need. And that's why we're just building the one right now. We don't need more. And it would be kind of stupid to go through and build something up and then find out that we unlock something that makes us tear it all down. So we try to minimize that. But something I would like to do is, and this is kind of my vision for this place, I want to put a really cool mall right there, right where that tree is, basically. And I want to fill it with containers. And then I want to name them what the resource is and have that go through everything. I think it would be really cool. So have a basically shopping mall where we can walk through and pick up any product and then ship things in from all over the world. Which, by the way, is massive. I can't show you yet because we haven't unlocked the map, which we will soon. But let's go ahead and go through. We're on tier 1. We can unlock base building if we get these resources. Logistics, which is a lot of really cool, like, splitters. This would allow us to get full efficiency from our resources currently. And then storage box, MAMs. We don't really need this yet. So I say we go for the basic base building. We have a little bit here, but we can't put it in yet because we need, surprise, surprise, we need actual resources first. I realized I didn't do this. Oh, that is the one downside about this game is sometimes your finger slips and then you have to rebuild it. Now this will have a place for all these to go. We are going to work on getting all the basic resources up and running for right now. So I'm going to work on getting just this basic setup for copper, iron, and limestone, and I will be right back. All right, welcome back. We have gotten quite a bit done, but it's really just busy work. So I'm going to go over kind of what we did. Found out that the nearest copper vein to us is up this mountain, so you kind of have to take a little bit of a journey up here. And there's only one. So copper is going to be kind of a rough resource for us to gather, at least for right now, until we expand. So we have a little bit of a bulk system up here. That way, if for some reason we upgrade this ability or this conveyor's ability, we don't fail to keep production up. I don't want this to break down because we get backed up. So we've got this kind of buffer built in here. It comes down here all the way down to the smelter where it gets turned into copper ingots. Those ingots then flow into our handy-dandy storage container. Over here, we have kind of a similar thing going on with the iron that you guys already saw, so that's good. And then down here, we now have the miner for limestone. Limestone's a little different. It goes straight from the miner into a constructor. And the constructor basically gets to choose from a bunch of different resources, like what it wants to build. So we chose concrete. Concrete is the basis for base building in this game. So we want to get it for our milestone up in the top right corner, but we also want to have it for our base building and basics, kind of going about that. So we now have the 3 basic resources somewhat automated. We do need to go check on our power source because that is a big deal if it goes out. We are looking like we have a decent amount of time. It takes 6.6 per minute. Let me see here. 6.6, if I remember correctly. You can do 6.6 divided by 153. Now, what was it? Ah, I'm going to have to find it. And that was backwards anyways. But there is a built-in calculator in this game. And I love that they built it in. I'm just trying to remember what button it is, and I'll have to find that. In here is our little living area. It counts how many days since the last time you died. It's got a little mini game in here, which we won't touch today, but we might do a special gameplay of that at some point. We've got our faucet, got our coffee maker, microwave. Fix It really cares about us, and we can actually see our character as well. So this is us, and this is what we look like. We have access to a bunch of different things. There is a Meeseeks box from Rick and Morty. There is a llama, and I believe this is a reference to Fortnite. I might be wrong. I thought there was something else in here. Is there not? Okay, there might not. There are security cameras everywhere because, we are good Fix-It employees, and we report to everyone. There is fluid dynamics for pioneers. A lot of really cool stuff in this game. A lot of really cool stuff. We are kind of letting our backlog of stuff build up. So we're going to see here. We've got a decent amount of iron. How are we doing on concrete? I know we just robbed the concrete stash, so that's not great. That is one thing about this game that you will get used to, is sometimes it is hurry up and wait for resources to be produced, but that is why you build bigger and better things. You don't have to just sit there and wait for it to produce. You can make it better as you wait. Unfortunately, right now, we're in such an early stage of the game that we don't even have, the basics to be able to refine. So it really comes down to this. We are going to be building rods for a little bit. And while we're building rods, I get a chance to chat with you guys about the channel. And I wanted to say thank you so much for all the support. But I also wanted to say I feel like things have been going really, really well. There's been a lot of changes. I feel like I've grown a lot just in the short amount of time that I've been doing content, and I can't wait to keep improving. That is my goal. I want to keep improving. And this new channel, this new series is part of that. You're going to see some new editing. You're going to see some new, I'm making a standardized thumbnail. If you hadn't noticed from the release yesterday, I did put out a release. We have a standardized thumbnail for this series, and I will update the episode number, and that is it. And part of that is because I want it to be recognizable. I want you guys to be like, oh, a new episode just dropped, and it be our thing. And I think that'll be a lot more fun. It kind of allows us to keep it. You also don't know what we're working on always, and it's kind of fun that way. I think that there will be a ton of really cool interactions to be able to have with this game. Some live streams if we want to do some adventures. There's a lot of stuff to collect in this game. 100% would be down to do a proper live stream for it. But there's a lot going on, and so I want to thank you guys for that. I think I am going to take a break from Luck Be a Landlord for a little bit. I think the game has gotten a little too grindy for me, and I want to explore some other games. So Saturdays are going to be Satisfactory days. And again, it's every other Saturday because I want to put some time into this. The first episode is a little easier. It's a little bit more straightforward. But as we get into bigger and better things, there will be more cuts. There will be more time that I have to put into it to make it happen. For the other series on the channel, I am unsure of exactly what it's going to be. But it's kind of two different things in my brain. We are either going to jump into Balthro and go wild with that game, or we might jump into doing Magic the Gathering. I am honestly excited for either possibility, and it might be that Tuesdays are Balthro days and Thursdays are MTG days. And that way you guys can kind of look forward to the day that you really enjoy, and hopefully you still watch the others, but if you don't, you at least have some day that you enjoy. I know we have a lot of factory lovers in our society, in our group, and they have not been getting the recognition with their games. So now that we have that, we can finally actually like cater to them as well. So be thinking about that. I'll probably post a poll on what you guys want to see on formats later. I mean, I do this for my own fun. I do this because I enjoy it. But at the same time, I'm trying to build a community here. And so that kind of comes down to, what do you guys enjoy seeing? Because if you don't enjoy seeing it, I shouldn't be doing it. Or at least I should be really thinking about why I want to do it. If it's something I really, really enjoy doing, I'll probably do it anyways. But that's enough said. We have grown a ton. We're at almost 300 subscribers. I don't know how we're at 300 subscribers. I really don't know how we got this far this fast, but I'm really excited and humbled by that fact. I'm just absolutely blown away by it. And it means a lot. So, we're almost done building our concrete. That's enough of my personal ranting about the channel. Gonna go ahead and get these biomass built up. This is the part of the game that's a little grindy at the beginning, but eventually all of this will be automated, and even more will be automated. I mean, there's thousands of ways to automate in this game, and I love that. We're gonna add some fuel to our generators because we need to make sure that we are not running low on fuel. Okay, that should put us up for a little bit. I think we can collect the last of our limestone and sandbags, and we should be able to get this first base building. Yep, we have everything that we need, and we can go ahead and turn in the reward for the base building. So excited for this. We go in here, we turn all this in, and then we hit the giant red button. And when we do that, we get a watch.
Milestone reached. Several new structures are now available for improving factory
Ready,
organization.
set,
Foundations provide a building grid which
blast
allows you
off.
to manage placement of any structure. In the event that you are experiencing amnesia
It's such a
or events
cool
like
visual. Like, they could have just made it where you unlock things. Instead, the ship actually delivers it
distractions from your important mission.
and then has a time that it takes to return. It takes like 2 minutes to return each time. So this is where it sits, and it's actually like gone fully. There's no collision here. It's really cool. The developers of this game really do respect the factory genre and truly made a game that is something to be proud of. We have unlocked new toys. We can now make foundations. And foundations, if you'll notice, are very expensive because they take concrete. So I think the first thing that we're going to want to work on building up is going to be limestone. We've got to go over and do some more limestone deposits. We're probably going to ship a bunch of limestone over here and make a little factory for it. That's part of the game. But with our first unlock and our introduction to the game, our first ever Satisfactory episode, I think we're going to do that next time. So I want to thank you for coming along for the ride. Again, future episodes, a lot more is going to happen. First few episodes, it's going to be a little slow. That is part of the factory style. It ramps up quickly, though, and I highly, highly recommend you stick around because it's going to get wild. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.